TikTok, Facebook, and YouTube. Live, how are we all? I am here. I'm in my gym vest. Hot. Not complaining. Honestly, I'm not. Not complaining. I'd rather it be like this than be cold and wet and windy. But it is warm, innit? It is so humid. So humid. Anyway, yes, sat here in my pretty much my attire for the whole day. I've been sat like this, but it's all good. How are we all? How's your Monday been? It's a new weight loss week. It's certainly been a brand new weight loss week for moi. Back to it after. Oh no, that's right. So I didn't think of the old YouTube thing. Back to it after a week. Well, actually, 9 days off. So I've had 9 days off. I stopped counting calories on Saturday, the 21st of June. So I did Saturday, Sunday, and then I did Monday all the way up to yesterday. 0 calorie counting, 0 guilt. I've been on holiday, just enjoying myself. But today, we have got right back into it, and it's been a really good day. I say very low on calories, not stupid low on calories. I think I'm at about 1,500, maybe a bit more than that. Let me have a look. I've eaten well. I didn't eat breakfast today. And do you know what? I ate a lot yesterday. I don't know how many. I didn't track my calories, but I ate a lot of food yesterday. And when I eat a lot on one day, my appetite is never that high the following day. So I've had 1,453. I'm lying. I'm absolutely lying my pants off because I had butter on my toast tonight because I've had beans on toast for my tea. And I've not put my butter in. I thought about that before. Didn't have a lot of butter. About 50 calories worth. Anyway, so I've had 1,505 calories. I'm going to have about another 300 calories for the rest of the day. So I'm going to finish on about 1,800. Still pretty low for me. Probably puts me in about a 1,700 calorie deficit just for today. But will I be doing that every day this week? Will I heck? Right? I'm taking the wins. I always find when I come back from holiday, I always have one or two what I like, or when I come back to being in a calorie deficit after being like off plan, as it were, after a period of overindulgence is what we'll call it. I always find the week that I come back, I have at least one what I call hungry days, right? And sometimes it's just psychological. It could just be a placebo thing. But the hunger can take over a little bit. So I'm fully aware of that. So today I've not felt hungry at all. So you've got to this is why we always look at averages. So, I might only eat 1,800 today, but I'm fully aware that Wednesday, Thursday this week, I'll probably eat my full capacity of calories, my daily average, which is 2,600. So it'll all counterbalance itself out. But anyway, so far today, so very good. I've just been warm. I've been warm as well, and that numbs your appetite a little bit, being over hot. Right, let's do a top 5 this evening. Ryan's in number 1. Evening boss. Hope you had a great holiday. It was brilliant, Ryan. Really, really good. Though we took my niece. Which was fantastic. It was the first ever proper holiday. She loved it. But it did stop me and Rach kind of doing a little bit what we like to do on holiday, more adult, going out for a nice meal, glass of wine, bit of a chill, and then maybe having one night on the strip a little bit, just going a little bit crazy or something like that. So it was more very family orientated, very, very nice, very relaxing. I still got a little Benidorm itch. So I'm trying to convince Rachel to go back for my birthday, just for a couple of nights, just for 2 or 3 nights in September. Watch this space. But yeah, I've had a great holiday. Anyway, Ryan, you're in at number 1. Faye's in at number 2. Callum's in at number 3. Nicole is in at number 4. And Kelly C is in at number 5. Good evening, guys. You are my top 5 this evening. Donna, good evening. Jampy, evening, everyone. Janet, good evening. And Jane's in as well. Good evening, everyone. Stefan, good evening. Gaza, all good, mate. Gaza's in. Gaza, have you checked? I don't know. It might have gone through. It said pending on mine. But please check, mate, to make sure. But if it doesn't, it'll go through overnight. Unfortunately, still unwell and can't taste anything, which is a bit unsatisfying. Nicole, have you got COVID? That was classic COVID symptoms, wasn't it? I mean, you can't tell anymore. because we don't test for it, but that it could be something like that. Don't you know what? You can lose. I think before COVID, I don't think people realise this, but when you used to get a bad cold, you used to lose your taste. It used to affect your taste buds. Paul, good evening. Paul, I have listened to your voice notes. I dedicated a good, I think, 8 minutes of my life to it, which is, and do you know, it was a really good voice note, to be honest with you. Learned a lot from it, and I've not responded to it because I just haven't had, and I want to respond to it properly, if that makes sense. When I say it's a really good voice note, not really good in the sense of what you were saying me, you actually taught me a couple of things. So on there, which I always love learning. What I always trying to learn. So yes, you did a couple of things you mentioned in there. I did learn some stuff from it, and I will respond to it. Not that you need my response, if that makes sense. You kind of, I know it was just sort of a more, I don't know how to describe it. Anyway, I'll get back to you tomorrow, if that's all right. I appreciate your commitment. Not a problem at all. Not a problem at all. But yeah, it was a good one because Paul won't mind me saying Paul's on Manjaro. I'm not going to talk about what a voice note was about, but Paul's on Manjaro, and you know I'm learning all the time from my clients now being on it, from my own research. I've never took it, so it is kind of third party what I'm learning from, but that's the way it is, you know. And don't get wrong, you know, I always say this, don't get wrong, I know I'm good at what I do because I've worn the shoes of a lot of my clients. And one thing you can't teach people is empathy. And I think when it comes to obesity and stuff like that, you know, I think when it comes to like mental health matters, and that's what obesity is, it's a mental health disorder. And when it comes to mental health matters and conquering any sort of addiction, really, which is all mental health, I think people that have walked the walk make great counselors for it. I always say this, the best, you know, AA counselors will be ex-alcoholics. The best, you know, drug counselors will be, you know, ex-addicts, ex-drug addicts. But with things like tools to help with different bits and pieces, you know, you don't really need to walk in people's shoes in a way, because a lot of medications as well are anecdotal, that what people go through. And don't get me wrong, we get trends with side effects, but certain people have side effects at this level, certain people have side effects at this level, certain people go through this, some people don't have any side effects. So it's good learning from several different sources. Anyway, Paul's giving me a lot of info this afternoon for me to sort of digest. Does that make sense? Hi Neil, other ones, one plan. Can you send voice notes, or if you have dyslexia and struggle with text? Of course you can. Absolutely you can. 100%. I did actually put a little poll in a few months ago, maybe last year sometime, saying, you know, would you prefer voice notes? And it was a bit of a mixed response. Sometimes I reply with voice. Basically, here's how it works with me. If I voice note you, if you're one of my clients, if my message to you is going to burn my thumbs off, I will drop you a voice note. Likewise, sometimes it's just a time thing. I could be driving and I'll do a little voice note or something like that, just to utilize my time. But again, with you guys as clients, if you find it easier to voice note than text, absolutely voice note, not a problem at all. What I'm also going to do is, a lot of people ask me about, I give information when you sign up to my plan for check-ins and stuff like that. But I'm going to do a check-in template just through WhatsApp. So when you sign up to plan, and I'll send it, so it's kind of laid out and you can kind of copy and paste it to your notes and then just add the bits of information in. So that might be easier for certain people. So it's laid out in, you know, and it is just, you know, weight, measurements, steps. And again, you can also screenshot data to me. So steps, if you want to send calories over, that's fine. Do you know what? I might start asking for calories in check-ins. I know what you're eating. I know what you're eating. What I don't know is what your app says. Right? So I might start, because I normally ask for calorie screenshots when we do the challenge. But I found it very interesting from doing the challenge, and we've done 4 Boss Your Weight Loss challenges now, one in 2023, 2 last year, 1 this year, and the new one will be starting in a couple of months. I do find it very, very interesting when I see, clients, and this does happen every challenge. Clients send me their calories. What their calories show me is what I want to see. What the scales are doing does not reflect what the calories are representing. And in that case, it shows to me how inaccurate people are with tracking for whatever reason. But then it's my job as a coach to find out what those reasons are. So even on a standard check-in, I might put, if you want a screenshot, I only need your weekly calories. If you're using NutriCheck, you just go into Week View, screenshot a couple of weeks for me, send them over, and I can sort of see, because I know as long as you give me your weight and your movement, I know what calories you're eating, right? Then if your app says something different, then I can talk about inaccuracy of tracking. It could be a case of your app might say that you eat 14,000 calories a week, and that is your calorie allowance, yet you're losing 2 pounds a week. Well, that says to me that you're eating 11,500 calories a week. So you're over guesstimating, which can be a part of it as well, Anyway, being able to voice note is a game changer, to be honest. This is how I message you every time. I created a headed message that I update. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Paula has her check-in comes in the same every time. And like I say, she's just created sort of a headed message that she can edit. But yeah, you can voice note me. Absolutely not a problem at all. The only thing I will say with voice notes is, sometimes, like, I might be in with Rachel. I might be in with someone else. Not that I am. Sometimes I'm working. When I say that, basically, sometimes it's not always easy for me to listen to a voice note. So if you do voice note me, it might take me a little bit longer to respond because I need that clear time to voice. So sometimes, what I mean by that is, sometimes sometimes I'm working in the gym. I do. Sometimes I'll train and then I'll just go and take 10 minutes out and I'll just go and sit on the side and I'll answer a few messages and stuff like that. If you send me a voice note, I can't listen to it in the gym. What I mean is I can only listen to voice notes when I'm sat in private, right? So and I do sometimes. Sometimes I'll nip into like the coffee shop at the gym afterwards. I don't drink coffee, but I'll just grab a drink, or sometimes I just like to sit outside and chill just to get away from this environment for a little bit. Sometimes, every now and then, I take my Mac to the gym, and I'll train in the gym, and then I'll take my Mac again in the coffee shop that's there afterwards, and I'll sit and work. If I'm in it, I know I could wear headphones, but I don't. I tend to just work away. So sometimes, what I'm trying to say is, if you do voice note me, sometimes it might take me a little bit longer to respond. Guys, I don't think I'm on my booster. If it starts crickling, crackling, let me know. Yeah, it's telling me already that I've got a bad connection. Hang on one sec. Sorry to you guys on Facebook. You're like, what are you doing? I'm just, Anis, if you're still on Facebook, mate, I'm going to answer your question very, very shortly. Just let me sort this. My phone's not on my booster, so it's just being a bit. Resume live feature. Yes, right. I'm back. I'm on my booster now, so we're all good. To be fair, I enjoyed the voice note you sent me the other week. It's great to hear the tone. Is that a sarcastic thing, or is that a good thing? And yeah, I think sometimes if I can't, my phone's plugged in. The dogs are just like proper staring at me because Rachel's in the bath and they're just sat in the back door like, Dad, what are you doing, mate? Anyway, let me scan up. Anna, good evening all. But yes, you can voice note me if you're on the one-to-one plan and you need to voice note me. Voice note me, right? There we go. Right. Anis has asked me on Facebook. Hi Neil, on the calorie. So Anis has joined my community. He's put on the calorie breakdown you sent me. What is the BMR? And why do I not eat 500 under that rather than the TDEE? Thanks, Anis. Right. So when you sign up to my community or you join my one-to-one plan, you get a full calorie breakdown. And including that full calorie breakdown is your BMR calories, right? Your TDE, your maintenance calories, and your calorie deficit that I recommend you eat. So your BMR is your basic metabolic rate. It is your metabolism, right? And why we don't eat under our metabolism is because our metabolism is the amount of calories we burn on a day isn't our calorie burn, basically. It makes up a part of our calorie burn. A large part, about 70%. So around 70% of the calories we burn on a day-to-day basis is through our metabolism. But it's not all the calories we eat. And we have to be careful. This isn't really, if you're obese, morbidly obese, this isn't really an issue. But for some people that want to lose body fat, and in all honesty, you know, if we can eat above our metabolism is the minimum amount of calories we need to function, right? Brain function, heart function, this, that, and the other. And the body likes us to eat above that, right? It just does. Now, don't get me wrong. If we're obese, morbidly obese, and we eat below our metabolism, we've got more than enough stored energy to make up any deficit. But some people might not have. And if you eat under your metabolism, basically you give your body less calories than it actually needs on a day-to-day basis, the minimum amount it needs. It then taps into your fat stores. If your fat stores aren't overflowing, so you might have some excess body fat, but your body doesn't see it as excess body fat, or you're like, oh, I don't really want to, you can get what's called metabolic adaptation. So basically, when we go into a calorie deficit, our calorie deficit, to make sure it's healthy and sustainable, should always be based on our total daily energy expenditure. And that's what TDEE stands for. So, and that is the total amount of calories we burn in a day. And that includes our metabolism. It includes our everyday movement, which is basically steps, but that includes things like running around the house after your kids, running around the park after your kids, walking to the bus stop, walking to the office, walking around Tesco's, walking the dog. Right? That is all your general everyday movement. And then we also add on to that any physical activity you might do. So any going to the gym, going on a proper bike ride, playing a game of tennis, something like that. We add all that together. And that is your total daily energy expenditure. And when you eat in a calorie deficit, that is the number you want to be eating under. So let's say my metabolism is 2,500 calories a day. That is based on mainly my weight, but also my height, my age, my sex plays a part in that. Yeah, muscle mass as well, but we don't really use that as a calculation. But I'm 2,500 calories a day. That is my metabolism. All right. And if I just ate 500 under my metabolism, I'd eat 2,000 calories a day. When you add my metabolism to my everyday movement, to my exercise, I burn on average 3,500 calories a day. So if I just ate under my metabolism by 500, I'd be in a 1,500 calorie a day deficit. That is way too restrictive for a person of my size. I am not giving my body, enough calories to function properly, but B, I'm not giving if I'm only eating 2,000 calories a day, for someone my size, for the amount I move, I won't be giving my body enough. I'll be struggling to give my body enough protein, enough good fats, enough carbohydrates to function properly, enough vitamins, enough minerals. So it's kind of, there's a few different factors, all right? But basically, you do not eat under your BMR, you eat under your total daily energy expenditure or total weekly energy expenditure. I give my clients both. My clients know what they burn daily and weekly, and we eat under that, all right? And for most people, it's 500 under that. For some people, if you are quite overweight or you move a ridiculous amount, I might put you in 1,000 calorie deficit. If you're not very overweight or you don't move very much, I might put you in a smaller calorie deficit. Whether you're on plan with me or you are part of my community, I will always tell you what deficit you are in. You don't need to work it out. Where's going to put me in a 500? I will tell you what it is by the amount of weight I reckon you'll lose from the calories that I give you. And there we go. That's it. Dead straightforward. So your TDEE Anis is your total calorie burn. And that is what we eat under when we put ourselves in a calorie deficit. And ideally, a good sign, again, there's different sort of not parameters, what's the anomalies maybe, or exceptions to the rule. But generally, if your calorie allowance, right, your calorie deficit allowance is higher than your metabolism. So let's say your metabolism is 1,800 calories a day and your calorie allowance is 1,900 calories a day to lose a pound a week. That is a clear sign that you've got a healthy, sustainable calorie allowance, right? Now, like I say, that there are some exceptions to the rule. You know, when I was 37 stone, my metabolism was 4,000 calories a day. My metabolism was 4,000 calories a day. I don't need to eat no one on this planet. You know, all right, you might be a strong man, you might be an athlete that's training 8 hours a day, but it is very rare any everyday person needs to eat 4,000 calories a day. I have a ceiling window for calories, 3,000 a day. My clients, 3,000 maximum. If you come to me and you're 600 pounds and your metabolism is 5,000 calories a day and you do a little bit of movement, so your calorie burn is 5,500 a day, right? Then you know, the most calories you'll get from me is 3,000, and you'll be in a 2,500 calorie a day deficit, right? I will put someone 600 pounds easily in a 17,500 calorie a week deficit, right? Losing 20 pounds a month. Someone that's 600 pounds can drop 120 pounds in 6 months, right? They can, yeah. Once they've dropped that 120 pounds and they get to the point, then we'll shorten the deficit, you know, we'll make it smaller. But anyone that's 450 pounds can quite comfortably lose 2 to 3 pounds a week. And then once you're getting down into 300, you know, anyone over 300 pounds could lose 2 pounds a week if their movement's pretty decent. Once you're getting under 300 pounds, once you're getting under that 20 stone bracket, which is 280 pounds, that's when we'll sort of fall more into that. I'm not saying you can't lose more than a pound a week. Of course you can, right? Especially if you've got a good level of movement. But that's when we sort of then break down into that pound a week kind of bracket, as it were, you know. Evening, mate. Hope the holiday was melted. Dan Baxter was excellent. Thank you very much. We are on official countdown now to Tenerife, which is 13 weeks. It sounds like a long time, but it doesn't sound like a long time. I don't want to think of it because that in 13 weeks it's October. I'm sat here sweating my chebs off because it's flipping bloody 28 degrees or something. Very, very humid. I don't want to think about October at the moment. Anyway, there you go. Kevin Betty, hi Neil, can you give me some info on your plan? I can, Kevin. That's Kevin on YouTube. So my one-to-one plan is basically a plan that I wrote in 2020 based on the basic principles that I use to lose weight around calories and movement. It's very simple. It's very straightforward. Simple yet effective. I always say that, just like me, right? Just like it's simple yet effective. It doesn't need to be overcomplicated. The more simple something is, the easier it is to follow. But what I don't just say, here's your calories, here's your thing. I basically guide you to look at weight loss the way I look at weight loss. So I encourage you to have lower calorie days, higher calorie days, overall have a healthy, balanced diet, but include some of the foods you love. We will progress your movement up to a decent level. So it's not only going to support your health, but your physical health, it'll support your mental health, but it'll also increase your calorie burn to optimize your losses. Really simple. It is really simple and straightforward. And I've never ever been, I don't need to overcomplicate it to try and give you value for money because A, it's cheap as chips. And B, you know, I see loads of people do this. They overcomplicate things to make it seem like you're getting loads for your money. You don't need loads for your money. You need something simple that you can stick to that you're going to lose weight. You don't care what the plan is as long as the results are there. And the results are there if you stick to it. I had 2 clients this last check-in that have hit their £100 loss marker. I had 7 clients last year. I've already had 2 this year. And I've got a few more that are on the way. In fact, I've got 1 client that I think they're going to be the biggest loss. They're going to be the biggest loss. I'm hoping, I'm pushing. The most one of my clients has ever lost is £200. And I think they could blitz it. They could, hopefully they'll blitz it full time because generally they could lose. I think £400 is what we're going to be aiming for, but I think they can blitz 200 this year. Anyway, there we go. And then as part of my plan, you get to check in with me every 2 weeks. Now, if my plan is doing what it should be doing, check-ins, again, simple and straightforward. They don't need to be any more than that. You've got the accountability of me, you've got the support of me. But if you're still, I had someone last year, they checked in 4 times, right? They had their little whoosh, they lost £6, then they lost £3, then they lost £2, then they lost £2. And then they messaged me saying, do I get any more on my plan? I said, what more do you need? What more do you need? You've dropped £13 in 8 weeks. You're nearly a stone down. You've enjoyed a friend's birthday. You've enjoyed a pizza. You've told me that you can't believe you can enjoy a pizza and a glass of wine and still lose weight. What more do you need? And they literally messaged me back saying, nothing. I was like, right, there you go. And they're smashing it. And basically, if you're smashing the plan's doing its job. And when you check in with me, you'll just get a good pat on the back and let's keep going. At some point in time, I don't think I've ever not had one client have a couple of little struggles here and there. And that's when I'll kick in with my coaching and I'll guide you, I'll guide you around the obstacles as and when needed. But you check in with me every 2 weeks for accountability and support. If you're struggling, we'll delve in and I'll help you. If you're not struggling and you're sticking to the plan and it's doing its job, again, pat on the back and we'll just keep you just ticking over. Yeah. In between, if you need me at all, so in between check-ins, checking every 2 weeks of my plan. In between check-ins, you can message me 24/7. You can message me whenever you want to. So just like I've talked today, clients voice note me, they might have a little rant about something, they might be struggling with something. I get clients messaging me just about life, nothing to do with the plan. It's just like, and I don't mean life, I just mean like they've got an issue with that and they're worried it's going to affect their weight. It might trigger a bit of emotional eating. So I'm always here to message me. I get clients that message me with pictures. Hey, I'm out for my lunch with my mum. Here's a picture of this. I have no idea where to start tracking the calories. And I'll track them. I'll go, right, this is how I track that. Bang, there you go. So there's just lots of help and support. But it is really simple and straightforward. And it's something I've always, like I say, it's based on I wrote it in 2020 to give to my one-to-one personal training clients. When COVID hit, I had about 15 one-to-one personal training clients. Most of them all on weight loss journeys. Most of my clients came to me for weight loss advice when I was a personal trainer. And, I was really worried about them sort of slipping, regressing, they're not coming to the gym. Again, lack of accountability. So I wrote this plan and I thought I'll hand it out to me one-to-one clients, gives them something to follow. They can carry on checking in with me. We can do some PT sessions like through FaceTime as well if needs be. But I just did it and I was panicking about money. My business is gone. So I was like, how can I still add a support aid to my clients to help them on their journey, but B, also bring a bit of an income stream in. Anyway, 13, 14 weeks into COVID, I'm giving you the history of how my online coaching went here. 13, 14 weeks into COVID. I'm going to do this as a podcast, actually, as a follow-on. I don't know if you saw my podcast about how I became a personal trainer from £500 to personal trainer. I might do from £500 to personal trainer to online weight loss coaching in 8 years or something like that. I don't know. Anyway, and then COVID, you were able to PT, so start PT people. So it kind of took a back burner. And my clients came back. It was only about 3-4 months actually when I didn't see my clients. So by the time I got it all set up, they came back. And then when we went into lockdown in January 2021, I was like, right, sent my plan out to my one-to-one clients. And then I started doing TikToks. And then I was talking about my plan and someone said, can I buy your plan? Someone on TikTok was just like, never spoke to him. I spoke to maybe they joined my lives and stuff, but I'd never met them in person. And I was like, yeah, if you want, let me come up with something. And I was like, right, what do I do? And then I said, right, well, how about you buy my plan and 6 check-ins? So you check in with me you follow the plan, you check in with me every couple of weeks, and it's this amount. And they were like, yeah. So I started advertising it on TikTok and loads of people signed up. There we go. That's it. Now, from when I first wrote my plan in 2020, the plan has evolved. Like, it's the same basic principles, but I've changed it all. I've adjusted it all. I've moved things around a little bit. But yeah, it still is what it is. And like I say, my clients combined, I keep kind of a running tally. So when I do a check-in, I have like a little spreadsheet. So like if someone loses £3, I'll just go into the spreadsheet and put in 3. And then when someone loses, next check-in, someone loses £4, I go on the spreadsheet and put in 4. then someone loses £1, I go on and put in 1 each week, right? And then that all adds up, and then I add that to a running tally. And we're at like £15,670 or something. So combined, since when I started doing my plan in 2021, over £15,000 of fat loss. 15,600 and odd pounds combined from all my clients from all over the place. And I only actually count clients that that check in, and then if a client doesn't finish their minimum 3 months, and don't get me wrong, 99%, I don't have to chase them for money or anything like that. It's a minimum 3 months commitment, by the way, to come on my plan. But if someone does 3 check-ins and then they disappear and I don't hear from them and then they might cancel for whatever reason, I'll take that data out. So the 15,600 is for people that have done 6, is included for people that have done 6 or more check-ins with me. They've been with me for over 3 months, basically, if that makes sense. I've waffled on about my one-to-one plan. I have got a deal on because it's summer. I said this, I had a bit of a deal on around March, Easter time. There are fits and, it's the same as a personal trainer when you're mega, mega busy, and there are periods where things drop off a little bit. July, August is always a quiet period. August, as a personal trainer, I might as well have not worked, but literally my income, I probably lost about 40% in August. I kept my clients, but my clients I'd have so many clients that'd be like, I'm not going to have any sessions in August. It's kids' summer holidays. We were away for 2 weeks. Then I'm over 2 weeks. Can't leave the kids. Blah, blah, blah. So, not a problem at all. So my income used to drop by about 40% in August. September, my income doubled because it just went. September was crazy busy. It was crazy busy. Busier than January. September was busier than January. Everyone's coming back from summer holidays, and everyone's like, oh my God, it's Christmas in 3 months. And I've just been, drinking Copperbergs and eating barbecues and being on all-inclusives for the last 3 months. I need to get my act together. So September's always my busy. Anyway, while it's quiet, you'll get a deal. So you've got a deal. So my one-to-one plan, use code SUMMER50. Right, links are in my link tree, by the way. TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. Head to my link tree. Click on monthly one-to-one plan. Minimum 3 months commitment, $29.99 a month. But the sign up is $29.99. So it's $29.99 sign up and then $29.99 for a minimum 3 months. Your first payment is when you start the plan. All right. So the first payment of $29.99 is your sign up. That covers your plan and everything like that. That is currently half price, 15 quid. Right. Using code SUMMER50. Now, if you feel like you need, Lou today's actually signed up for a year. Right? If you want to sign, if you don't want a monthly direct debit coming out and you want to if I sign up for a year, I've paid for it, I'm going to be committed for a year, and you really want to smash the weight loss journey, Summer 20 knocks you 20% off a year. So a year on my one-to-one plan, including sign-up fee and 12 months monthly fees, is 390 quid. Right? It's £390. I normally do the 12-month one for 325. At the moment, it is 260 quid. That is it. A one-off payment of £260. It's just been payday. One-off payment of 260 quid, and you get 12 months one-to-one weight loss coaching. Right? 25 check-ins. You don't check in over Christmas. So you check in every 2 weeks, but you don't check in over Christmas. So you get 25 check-ins, access to me 24/7 through WhatsApp for a whole 12 months, full plan to follow, adjusted as when needed, support when needed. There we go. 260 quid. TikTok profile, so use code SUMMER50 to get half price sign up. So 15 quid instead of 30, and that's $29.99 a month. Or if you're like, nah, I need a year's support, 260 quid. It literally works out. Is it even £25 a month? I don't think it's even £25. I think it's 20 quid. It literally works out like £21, £21.50 a month. £21.50 a month. It's as cheap as I can do it. Kirsty, some of my family have done their calories on TD Calculator. It says my sister has the same calories as me, but is 5 stone heavier than me. Yeah, Kirsty, that's the issue with. I did a video on this about online calorie calculators the other day. They can be really inaccurate. And the reason is, there's 2 reasons why they can be really inaccurate. Number one, they just have a very generic formula. There's no tweaking, and it works a bit like the BMI scale. Like it gives you between this and this, and that's kind of what that does. It also, the other issue with a TDE calculator is it gives you too much control, right? So many people. I reckon if I sat there, if I was like a little fly on the wall, sat here, someone was sat in my chair here doing their old TDE calculators, then I'm sat there, and I'd be like, what are you putting in that? What on earth are you putting in there? Right? You know, so many people. I had a girl that come to me the other week that signed up to my community. She got on TDE calculator. She literally was 14 stone and she did 15,000 steps a day. But because the online calorie calculator she used basically said, what is your activity? Sedentary, office job. And she was like, I do an office job, so I'm automatically sedentary. Why you do 15,000? And it gave her like 1,200 calories, right? Because she put sedentary, right? And I'm like, you do 15,000 steps a day, you're highly active. Like, it doesn't matter how you do those steps. It doesn't matter whether you do them, you know, an hour walk in the morning, an hour walk in the evening. It doesn't matter if you sit on your bum. Look, it is the honest truth about movement, right? About 10,000 steps is done in about 90 minutes, right? From start to finish, as long as you're not walking a dog and stop starting, average pace, right? Walking at a couple of miles an hour, something like that. 3-4 kilometers an hour. You can do at 90 minutes, you'll do 10,000 steps. I don't walk very quick. And if I walk, even if I'm walking with the dogs, but we're doing a long walk, so the dog might be off the lead or something like that, and we do 90 minutes, I do 10,000 steps. Done. Right? Just think about that. Right? So if you're averaging 10,000 steps a day, right, we class that as a good level of movement. Right? And that's done in about 90 minutes. Flip that. That still means you spend 22 and a half hours sat on your bottom. Right? Now, don't go wrong. Again, some exceptions to the rule. You could stand on your feet but not move because you work behind a counter, you know, like in a supermarket or something like that. Or, you know, but that is the honest truth. Like I average about 11 to 12,000 steps a day. And I say I've got a really good level of daily movement. I still sit on my bum or don't move for 22 hours a day or a little bit more. You know, 22 hours a day or a little bit more. Yeah. So for me personally, people that still have, you know, even that girl there that I said does 15,000 steps a day, right? 15,000 steps a day. Oh my God, please answer for FF's sake. Kate, you might as well leave because I won't answer now because you're being rude. I'm here to voting. And I mean, I don't, you know, at the end of the day, I'm giving away a lot of free time to help people. And I know I talk a lot and I know I waffle, but it's like literally, you know, that's it. If anyone says for FF's sake, it's like, it's not like you've paid me any money to do this. So, jog. In fact, I'll just block you. I'm not bothered. You don't even follow me. You don't even follow me and you're being rude. See you later. Bye. Two things I can't stand. Number one, avocado. Number two, rude people. Not interested. Go and batter someone else's that'll give you free calculators or something like that. It's a free I know. Some people are so like, it's just one of them. Oh, mummy and daddy pay for everything. I don't have to do anything in life. And this person's answered my question in 2 minutes on a free TikTok live. Jog on, off you pop. See you later, Chuck. You always get to his make. I do, and I know I talk a lot. That's the whole point of it. It'd be boring if I didn't. I see so many TikTok lives with people. It's like, yeah. Oh, do I look pretty off top? Oh, that's good, yeah. Like, sorry, I'm just not in for that. Absolutely does me nuts in. Anyway, there you go. What's avocado done? Do you know what? I just don't like avocado. I don't know why. It's just one of those things. I'm not a fan of it. I don't mind it in guacamole, like guacamole with a taco or something like that. But yeah, I don't like it. There are other things I don't like, by the way. It was just the first thing that popped into my head. Are your links on Facebook for sign-ups? Kevin Petty, they are, mate. Yeah. Basically, you want my link tree. you want my link tree, it's in my YouTube channel as well. I can put the link in. It depends what you want to sign up to. I can actually put, let me try and find my link, basically my link tree link, which is which is basically my link tree. I'm positive I've got my link tree link in. I have. Yeah. Let me put my link tree link on I can't do it on TikTok, but TikTok, you can just go into my profile. It is on my Facebook page and my thingy page, but I think I can put the link in here and it might come up. You might be able to see it. And then I can show it on the screen. That is my link tree. So linktr.ee/Real Lost Boss. Stick that into or copy that, or you might be able to click that. I have no idea if you're on a live. Let me have a look. Let me have a little market research here. Let me go on to my own live, which I always find really weird. Let's have a look at because you're on YouTube, and I've put that link up now. I don't know if it'll just come up. I mean, I could have just asked you guys, couldn't I? But right, hang on. Let me go on my channel. Yes, I am live. Thank you very much. Right, no. So it's not a clickable link on the screen because I'm trying to have like that on the YouTube, and I can't click on it. But you can see the address basically. You can see the address. I wonder if I can, and it comes up in the comments that you can click on it as a link. So anyway, I put my link tree on now. I should have put something like, I can't edit it, I don't think, because I could have put like sign up to my. In fact, I might do it again. Hang on. I'm going shortly. What time is it? Oh, no, you've got 15 minutes. Sign up to plan now. Let me do that link tree again. Let me put that in there. Let me show what that does. There you go. Sign up to plan now. I know it's not a clickable link, but it's you've got the address, and then you can copy and paste that. Hopefully, can you have 2 little calories in a day? Can it slow down metabolism? Sam, not in a day. So you'd never get what we call metabolic adaptation in a day. So metabolic adaptation, very, very quickly, is when you don't eat enough, or your body feels you've not eaten enough, and you don't have enough fat stores. So if you're obese or morbidly obese, like, 60, 70, 80 pounds or more overweight, you'll never get metabolic adaptation. Your metabolism might be 1,800 calories and you might eat 500, right? You've still got enough stored energy and your body will give up, will tap into that stored energy to make up the deficit. When we get metabolic adaptation is when we don't eat enough calories, right? So when we don't eat enough calories, the body then taps into our energy stores to get. It doesn't quite work as simple as this, but this is how I can explain it as simple as possible, right? So let's say my metabolism's 2,000 calories a day, and I eat 1,500. Now my metabolism's 2,000 calories a day, but I do a bit of walking in the center. So let's say my calorie burn is 2,500. So my calorie burn is 2,500. My metabolism's 2,000. I eat 1,500, right? When I eat 1,500, my body's like, no, you need 2,005. I need 500 for your thing, but you need 2,500 here. Where do I get these extra calories from? I get it from fat stores, right? If your body goes to your fat stores and your bank account is full, right? You've got savings in there. That's basically what body fat is, right? Your body will take, go, right, 1,500 from there, 1,000 from there. We've got our 2,500 calories. All good. Let's say you're 10 stone and you want to lose some body fat. You want to get a bit leaner. I think anyone that's 10 stone irrelevant height is pretty lean, but you want to get a bit leaner. If your body goes, right, you'll give it, let's say you 2,000 calories, your metabolism's 1,600 calories. You eat 1,200. You want to say, right, got 1,200, I need another 400. Right? Taps into, you've drained the savings. There's no savings here. So your body goes into your savings and there isn't enough. Right? Or you need fat in your body, you see. So the body isn't happy for you to go down to like 0% body fat. What your body will then do is go, right, this person needs 1,600 calories minimum. You've only given 1,200 through food. There isn't any savings. What do I do? Right, well, instead of their metabolism being 1,600, I'll slow it down to 1,200. How does it do that? Well, it stops giving energy to non-essential body function. Hair, skin, temperature regulation. So you'll find, other classic signs that you're going through metabolic adaptation. Yeah, your hair will be thin, not because you're 45 like me, but because you're not giving your body enough nutrition, right? You'll be cold all the time. Your skin will look crap. You'll have no color on you, right? You'll look pale all the time, right? You'll have low energy. These are classic signs you're going through metabolic adaptation. But you only really need to worry about that if you're trying to lose weight when you've not really got much weight to lose. Yeah. Now, you might be sat there going, well, how do these people that compete in bodybuilding or how do go down to like 2, 3, 4% body fat and they're stupidly ripped and lean? Because you can trick your body into using body fat for excess energy. You've still got to be in a calorie deficit, but you just need to eat above your metabolism. As long as you're eating above your metabolism and you're making the deficit through movement, right, your body will still tap into your fat stores. It doesn't really want to, but it doesn't need to worry about never having enough energy to survive. As long as your body never needs to worry about having enough energy to survive, it will keep eating into your fat stores, right? It's only when, so anyone that's like a bodybuilder that's going on a big cut because they've got a show, right? They might, for the last 2 weeks, go down to like borderline or just below metabolism on like 2,000 calories a day. But again, metabolic adaptation doesn't happen overnight. I think the person asked, hang on. Where is it? Body fat. The one says, I've missed the. I can't find the comment. Anyway, oh yeah, can you have too little calories in a day? Can it slow down metabolism in a day? No. How long does it take for metabolic adaptation to take hold in the body? Basically, how long would we have to over restrict calories for before the body starts going into like what we might call safe mode, before it starts panicking a little bit? In all honesty, there isn't any sort of set like data on it. It's different strokes to different folks, but it would probably be at least a few weeks, probably at least 4 weeks, something like that, before the body started to go, something a bit dodgy going on here. So in a day, no, like today, I've only eaten 1,400 calories. Now, don't get me wrong, I don't really need to worry about that. My body fat percentage is 22%. So I'm not like, don't get me wrong, my body fat percentage isn't stupidly high, right? But I'm not that lean anyway. Before anyone gets metabolic, would even contemplate getting metabolic, you have to go under 20% body fat, right? I'm not a million miles away. I might get there by Christmas, but you have to go probably under 20% body fat before it even became a thing. And probably for most people, it'd be under 15%, right? So unless you're at that stage, you don't really need to worry about it. Yeah. My Fitbit says I do 10,000 steps while at work. Childcare, does this count? Yeah, steps count. If you're running around after children all day, you're running around after children all day. If you're on your feet all day running around after little ones, and you get to, they count. Every steps count. If you work on an A&E ward, if you're a bin person, if you're a postie, right? If you're, a labourer and you're running around carting bricks about all day for a brickie, they all count, right? If you're a dog walker, they all count, right? If you walk around, see it now, every time you go to Tesco, there's a million people doing other people's shopping. They're getting your steps, right? You see all the people dressed in maybe normal clothes or a Tesco badge on or something like that. And I've done it before myself. Like, hey, could you just tell me where? Oh, sorry, I don't work here. I'm just a personal shopper. I'm like, you're getting someone else's steps in, right? You're getting the benefit of running. And I've actually asked one of them before. I was like, oh dear. I said, do you do this all day? He said, yeah, it takes. She said she does about 10 a day, maybe more, I think. And I'm like, do you know what? When I go to the super, I went to Aldi today and I did a shopping vlog. It's out now on YouTube. I did 1,100 steps in Aldi. I say it in Aldi. I got back to the car after leaving the gym and I'd done 4,700 steps. right? And then I nipped into the garage and I nipped into the post office. But then when I finished at Aldi, I'd done 6,100. So I reckon I did about 1,000 steps walking around Aldi. I was in there about half an hour recording my vlog, right? And I'm like, if I was in there doing this, personal shopping for people, I was like 15,000 steps a day probably. So they all count. Yes, absolutely do. Body fat, the only savings I'm good at. Callum, I'm with you there, pal. I'm with you there. You know, I've spent some of my savings, but I'm holding on to the last bit. Absolutely. The other account that should be a role reversal. No, life's too short. Thanks to this live and my fiance who just got the year plan. I'm joining too. Nervous. Oh, my fiance's Lou. Brilliant. I love it when couples sign up, and I'll tell you why. And get signed up. Is it Nikki? Nikki, it'd be great to get you on board. Why I tell you when I love couples sign up, because hopefully, you support each other. You're both on the same plan. You might have slightly different calories. You might have slightly, it is what it is. Not everyone can have the same calories, but you can eat the same things, right? When I say you can eat the same things, what I mean is you can make the same teas. You just need to adjust the portion slightly. If someone's got 600 calories for the tea and someone's got 500, you just have a bit less, right? So I do love it when couples sign up. But Nikki, please do not be nervous. Honestly, there's nothing to be nervous about. It's so simple. It's so straightforward. The community is great. Lou's been in it before. So, yeah, be great. Be great. Get your board. And honestly, I mean that. It's really, really good when couples sign up. That's one thing I did. You said stopped shopping online. Yeah, and I know it triggers some people when I talk about it because I know it's convenient. Now, look, if you've got a pretty decent level of movement, right, or you're disabled, or there's just you can't leave the house for more than 20. I get it. There's lots of reasons, right? Absolutely fine. But if the only reason you use online shopping is for convenience because you can't be asked going yourself, right? But you also complain that you can't get movement in, make those changes. This is the reason why our activity levels over the last 30, 40, 50, 60 years have dropped. Because, we just sit in front of phones all the time. We sit in front of Netflix all the time. 5 episodes of Squid Game in one day. That wasn't me yesterday. Actually, it might have been 4. But anyway, we don't go. We go to the supermarket now. Well, the supermarket changed us. We used to go to the corner shop every other day. Right? You ever watched Open All Hours? Ronnie Corbett and David Jason. I'm showing my age now. Great show, by the way. Right? And it's set in a load of terraced housing, proper old school, northern town, where basically you've got rows of terraced housing and it was just housing for the factory workers. You've got a great big factory here. That factory employs 1,000 people, and all those 1,000 people lives in the terraced houses next to the factory. Dead simple, right? And in the middle of all these terraced houses is a corner shop. And back in the 70s, even in the 70s, not everyone had a fridge freezer. Not everyone, there weren't supermarkets. Not everyone had cars. So you had to shop at your local shop. And you'd go there every day or every other day to get your bread, to get your milk, to get your butter and your cheese, because it would go off if you bought any more. And, and then you carry your bags back. That then changed from going to the shops and going to the shops might have been a 10-minute walk there, a 10-minute walk back, whatever. And you did that 3 times, 4 times a week, right? That's 20 minutes. That's 2 hours of walking just to go and get your shopping in. Right. Now, don't get me wrong, times have changed since then, and we do have less time. In this day and age, there's a lot more cost. 2 people work in a household. I totally get that. But then we got the convenience of supermarkets coming in towards the end of the 70s and into the 80s, and everyone had cars. And now instead of doing 2 hours of walking a day, you do 30, 40 minutes, one shop a week. So we've already dropped our movement through being able to move more and this, that, and the other. right? And then now, fast forward to from the 1980s, 1990s to 2025, where you don't even need to go shopping. You just sit here, just on this thing. How much movement, how many calories has one of these stopped people burning? How many? How many of our weight issues are contributed by these things? You know, because we can just sit there doing all this, and it's things we've got to think about. You know, it is, and don't get me wrong. If you're sat there now and you're averaging 8, anything more than 8,000 steps a day, you know, I'd like people to do 10,000 steps a day, but if you're averaging more than 8,000 steps a day, you do a little bit of exercise maybe each week, you online shop to your heart's content, right? You watch Netflix to your heart's content, right? I mean that sincerely, you know, or if you are doing your online, because it is convenient, you know, you used to have to pay for a taxi, you don't anymore, or, you know, it used to stress you out shopping, or if you were there like, no, I'm one of the people, if I go to a supermarket, I'm like, bang, 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 bang. But if I online shop, I don't feel that same temptation. So great. But what are you doing to counterbalance that little drop in movement? If you're like, yeah, but instead of doing that, when I used to go shopping on a Saturday morning and I go for an hour's walk around the park, fine, absolutely fine, right? Just like to put a bit of balance in before people start shooting me in the comments. Track my food up to hang on. Track my food up to Sunday and wrote my shopping list whilst listening to you. Very productive. We like that. We like that. I'm going to do my live tomorrow for the community. Nikki has just signed up to plan. I think it is Nikki. It might be someone else. Might not be Nikki. But I'm guessing it's Nikki. It is Nikki. Nikki has signed up to plan. So like I say, I love it when partners come on, couples come on board, because you can support each other. You can start on the same day. You've got the same plan to follow. Yes, your calories might be slightly different. Yes, you step, but you can drive each other on, right? You can enable each other in a positive way. We can also enable each other in a negative way, but you know, I do find when couples come on board, they tend to do pretty decent. Anyway, yes, I'm doing a live tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. If you can't watch that live, they are saved back to the Facebook group and back to YouTube for you to watch back for your convenience. But I'm doing about what I do to get back to things after a week's overindulgence. I always talk about, I'm getting a spot there. Why run down? Shouldn't be. Everyone's been on holiday. Anyway, I always talk about, like, you know, getting back. So what do I do? And it's not just, well, you start tracking calories. Yes, I do. But what little things do I put into place that support me to track my calories, to get back to my eating patterns? What do I do? You know? I think that's visited my mouth twice in this live. I'm absolutely guzzled it. Lovely. Yes, I'm going to talk about that in a live tomorrow. I thought it was quite fitting when we're just coming back. So I don't want to talk about, I know normally talk about kickstarting your journey or getting back, but yeah, I haven't worded it yet. I'll send all the links out tomorrow morning after there's TikTok, Facebook, YouTube live tomorrow morning, guys, 8:30. And then the Weight Loss Coach live is at 11 tomorrow. My maintenance is 2,500. Will 1,500 lower my metabolism? What's your metabolism, basically, Sam Hay? What you need to look at, I mean, don't get me wrong, 1,000 calorie a day deficit. To go for, if your daily calorie burn is 2,500, 1,500 to me is just a bit too restrictive. It is, right? Now, 1,500 isn't a ridiculous amount of calories. Like, it's not stupidly low, but it is quite restrictive, and you're going to find it hard to stick to it. Now, if you come to me and go, I'm currently 16 stone. I don't really move that much. I might do 7,000 steps a day. Therefore, your maintenance is 2,500. And you're going to eat 1,500. Then, no, it's not going to lower your metabolism. Likewise, you know, you might come to me and go, no, I'm 10 stone. Right, but I do 15,000 steps a day and go to the gym 4 times a week. So my maintenance is 2,500. Would 1,500 lower your metabolism then? Yeah. Well, you'd probably be on the cusp. 10 stone, your metabolism is going to be 1,700. So it could do. It's a bit too restrictive. If your maintenance is 2,500, I wouldn't recommend a deficit more than 700. That'd be absolute top whack, which would be 1,800 a day. Ideally, I'd want you to do £1 a week. How much weight have you got to lose, Sam? You do £1 a week from now until this time next year, you'll be 4 stone lighter this time next year. That's a lot of weight. That's 4 stone a year. It's a lot of weight, right? It really, really is. Whatever your weight is, like if you're currently, is anyone alive now that's currently 20 stone, right? Would you not be buzzing if this time, your goal might be 11 stone, might be 10, I don't know what it is, right? But, if you're currently 20 stone and I said this time next year you'll be 16, you'd take it. You really would, especially if you were 20, if this time last year you were still 20, yet you felt like you've been dieting for a year, but you're still the same weight you were last summer, and the summer before, and the summer before that, and the summer before that, Sarah Roberts, hi there. Do women's menstrual cycles fluctuate weight? Yes, they do, Sarah Roberts. Sorry, you answered that a little bit ago, and I've only just got around to answering it. I don't know if you're still on the live now, but if you are, yes, women's menstrual cycles run generally, unless you have an irregular cycle, every 28 to 35 days. Some people, and normally, if your cycle is clockwork, it could be every 28 days, it could be every 30 days, it could be every 33 days. Quite rare. Say quite rare. It can fall in between those. Sometimes it can be a couple of days later, this and that. But yes, why? I always get, whenever I talk about the menstrual cycle, I always try and research it because it isn't something I talk about a lot. Why? Because it's not something I talk about a lot. It's not something, the actual cycle itself, because I'm not female. But is it the luteal phase? I can't remember. There's 2 main phases. Anyway, basically, when you are coming up to what we would class as your period starting, to put it bluntly, well, I'm not going to put it still. I love to call it some of the phrases my clients call it is brilliant. Some of them are absolutely brilliant. Most of them just say TOTM because that's what I say. But yeah, I get some people that are less polite than that, and I wet myself at times. But anyway, basically, when you start bleeding, right, that is what we class as the start of a period. Yeah, and this time before it, normally a week or closer. Basically, when you're getting ready to shed your egg, you get water retention around the midsection. It's kind of like a protective mechanism because when you shed an egg, you then start to release a fresh egg, and it's kind of a little bit of a protective mechanism. Because that is what swelling can be at times, and that's what it is. Also, a contributing factor to that can also be this period before your actual period starts. You can get some sugar cravings, you can get some emotional eating cravings, and the extra refined carbs of what you might eat can also then cause a bit of water retention. And a lot of water retention does, honestly. I took a video today, right? I'm going to start doing, someone asked me the other week, and I stopped doing them because I used to do my weekly weight loss vlogs where I talked about everything I eat. I don't know anymore, so I'm going to do a few more what I eat in a day, maybe a couple a week, just what I eat in a day on a general basis. And I took a video today of me eating my dinner. Honestly, I look like a burst settee. I've said this phrase a bit. I literally sat on the couch, right, slouching because of the wet position I was in. I've got my Benidorm blow, and I literally look like a burst settee. And I was like, bloody hell. And I've just got my Benidorm bloat. And we just store a lot of water in our midsection when we're bloated. So yeah, and anything from £1 to £5 or £6. I have some of my clients that their weight can fluctuate up £5 or £6 in their menstrual cycle, Right. I was 19 stone, buzzing that I'm already 50 and half. Callum, you're doing ace, mate. You're absolutely smashing it. Absolutely smashing it. I'm 88 kilograms, do about 8,000 steps a day. How do you know your maintenance is 2.5 off 88 kg, doing 8,000 steps a day? Sounds a bit high, that, Sam, to me. I don't think your maintenance is quite that high with that amount of movement. don't think, just off the top of my head, I'm very good at calories. I could be wrong, but that sounds a little bit high. But anyway, if you're 88 kg and you are doing 8,000 steps a day, you do not want to be in 1,000 calorie deficit a day. You need to do, if you want to go into 1,000 calorie deficit a day, you need to be doing 12 to 14,000 steps on average to keep your allowance healthy. Link works perfect. Where did you click the link from, Callum? Is it in, I know you might be back on Facebook now. Is it in the comments or on the YouTube? I just don't know. I just don't know how it works. Or did you not? Or is that something totally related? Let me have a look at my channel. Let me go on my live. So I'm on my live. Are there comments on live? 8 viewers. Oh, one likes. Where's the link? Well, there is a live chat. Ah, right. So you click on the live chat. Got it. Does it bring up? So I'm on Facebook. I'm on YouTube. Does it bring up any of the Facebook comments? No. Just brings up the YouTube comments. I like that. I've worked that one out now. Right. So I can basically say, go to the live chat on the live, and the link's there. I wonder if that's the same for Facebook. I have no idea. We'll have a look at that one tomorrow. Anyway, right, guys, I am going on my PC, the live chat sidebar. Love that. I'm on my iPad, so I just found the live chat sidebar. Love that. It must be the same on Facebook as well. We'll test that tomorrow. Guys, I'm going to bed. I am knackered. First day back at work. It's been a busy one today. Anyone that's messaged me today, Paula, you're on my list. I will respond to you guys tomorrow. Very good. Right? Yeah, I'm done. I'm absolutely out tonight. Guys, if you want to join the plan, remember, if you join my monthly plan, use code SUMMER50, 50% off sign-up. So you get signed up for just 15 quid. Then it's $29.99 a month for a minimum 3 months. If you want a real bargain, a real saving, use the code SUMMER20 on the yearly plan, and you'll get 12 months of one-to-one coaching for a one-off payment of 260 quid. And that's you from now until this time, next year. I'll honour it till the end of July, to be honest with you, because you're going to be starting, if you sign up now, you're going to be starting, I'll try and get you started Monday, but it might be the 16th of July, but I'll run you till the end of July. All right, so you're going to nearly get 13 months, basically. You're going to get at least 12 and a half months, maybe nearly 13 months for 260 quid. That's £20 a month. Get signed up. Right, guys, it's been a pleasure as always. I'll be back at 8:30 tomorrow morning, which is like 11 hours. 11 hours and 20 minutes. And this grumpy, wrinkly, loose-skinned face will be back. TikTok, I'll see you in the morning. Have a great evening for the rest of your evening, whatever you do. Or whatever you're doing. I'm going to go and watch, I think I've got 2 episodes of Squid Game left, so I'm going to go and definitely watch one more. I'll see you in the morning. And you lovely people over here on, what am I doing now? Oh, I'm ending let me end the TikTok live. You lovely people over here, Facebook, YouTube. I'll be back tomorrow morning, triple stream, 8:30 a.m. Enjoy the rest of your Tuesday evening, whatever you might be doing, and I will, Monday evening, and I will see you in the morning.